Welcome to our kitchen. Today we prepare ancient Roman pulse tracto Galata, a pasta dish with lamb from the fifth book of the Reco Quinaria. We start with ingredients. We need flour, milk, lamb and honey. We line a pan with bay laurel leaves, arrange the lamb and cook it in the oven with a bit of olive oil and a good amount of salt. There are no instructions on how to cook the lamb. The author only writes to serve this pulse on agnina, which is lamb meat. We chose a very simple roast to enhance the flavor of the pasta. But there are other possibilities, such as preparing a lamb cupadia, which is a stewed meat cut into pieces. Pulse tracto Galata is a dish made with tracta, which is ancient Roman pasta, and milk, cooked until completely tender, to make a kind of pulse, a dish prepared with overcooked mashed cereals. Tracta appears a few times in the Reco Quinaria, although there are no descriptions of its preparation, which is explained in Cato's De Agricultura, Pliny's Naturalis Historia, and Athenaeus' De Hypnosophistes. Meanwhile, we knead the flour with 2 pinches of salt and water until we obtain a smooth and hard dough. Then we roll a sheet of pasta and cut it into squares. For this recipe, the tracta should be dry and broken with our hands, as specified in the Reco Quinaria. But we preferred to use it fresh, making a dish very similar to traditional Italian maltagliati. Tracta is baked, used raw to make cheesecakes, or cooked in water or another liquid such as wine or milk, sometimes with the addition of other ingredients, for instance for the preparation of minutaglia. Tracta can be previously dried or used fresh. Cato gives 2 recipes for tracta, which is then used to prepare a few sweets, including placenta. You'll find the links to the recipes for placenta, pork stuffed with tracta, minuta al Tarentinum, and cupadia in the description below. The first tracta that Cato describes is made with only flour and water, which is still the basic preparation for pasta. He uses it for the bottom crust of his cheesecakes. The second instead is prepared by combining flour and coarsely ground farro, alica in Latin, previously soaked in water. A similar preparation with alica soaked in resin must appears in the Naturalis Historia. This mixture is fermented with the must and rolled thin like a tracta before being baked in the oven, as Pliny specifies. We find another recipe for tracta in the De Hypnosophistes, where it's prepared with flour, pepper, wine, milk, and a little lard or olive oil. The use of fat in the dough may seem strange, but the addition of olive oil is still a fairly common practice in the preparation of fresh pasta, to make it smoother and more elastic. Wine is another additive, usually red, to give the dish an excellent taste and a nice color. We cook the tracta with milk, a bit of water and 2 pinches of salt, until it's soft and almost breaks apart. We serve the tracta with the lamb brushed with honey diluted with a bit of water. To learn more about the history of pasta, read our new book, Early Italian Recipes, Cereals, Bread, Pasta and Pies, which contains 114 recipes from the Antiquity to the end of the Renaissance, an introduction to the history of cereals in Italy, with an explanation of the basic methods and ingredients used in the recipes. This book is the second in the series Early Italian Recipes, but all the volumes are independent and can be read in any order. The first book is dedicated to vegetables, fruit, herbs and flowers in historical cooking. If you're interested in ancient food, we recommend checking out our book Ancient Roman Cooking and our Patreon page, where you can find the translation of the recipes from Catus de Agricultura and De Re Cucinaria, as well as several other translations and articles on historical food. A list of our books on historical cooking, along with the links to buy us a beer and purchase our merchandise, is in the description below. This tracta with lamb was delicious, with the sweet flavor of milk blending perfectly with the pasta and meat. The honey added an interesting complexity to the overall flavor without overpowering the lamb. A dish very easy to prepare and absolutely perfect to try a different way of making pasta that connects us to the culinary traditions of our ancestors. If you're interested in ancient foods and flavors, subscribe our channel and consider supporting us on Patreon.